Hello and welcome to WION World of Cricket with me, Digvijay Singhdeo. We are building up to Game 2 of the ICC Cricket World Cup. The news from the middle is that Netherlands have won the toss. They've elected to have a bowl. I'm surprised. Dave Watmore is surprised as well. We're going to get you all the team news as we get it. Nikhil Mathur, my colleague, is also here with me. Just react to that. Have they seen the game last night and thought, hang on, it's going to get easier to bat in the second innings like what we were discussing, and that's why they've gone that. You were thinking, win the toss, bat first.
For Pakistan, I would have thought that, but I think with the Netherlands team, they probably have seen a little bit of recent history of run chasing at that ground, and it becomes a little bit, perhaps a little bit easier with, you know, a little bit of coolness on the wicket, and it might come on, and they're expecting their batsmen to have a little bit of an easier time.
Okay. But this also sort of plays into Pakistan's hands.
Yeah, it does.
This is the perfect sort of scenario for them because as we spoke in the build-up and also yesterday, they don't have a team which is going to go and dash. Like they would do a, sorry, let me rework it. They don't have a team which is going to do a Conway and a Rachin Ravindra. They sort of, the first 30 overs is play sensible cricket. And as you said, and then double the score in the last 20.
And Pakistan historically are more comfortable batting first. They much rather protect the total, put a good total on the board, and against this opposition, I think they'll get a good total.
Okay, just if you don't know, let's remind you, certain Dave Watmore was coach of Pakistan. Exasperating, exciting. What is the sort of mood in a Pakistan dressing room when you about to start a match? What was it for you?
It's normal, but when you play India in a ICC or a World Cup match, it sort of escalates hugely, and you generally get a visit from the chairman just to ensure that there's a little bit more pressure on the players, and it's a little bit fever pitch, and it can work in your favour, and it can also work in the reverse way as well. So you know, it comes down to being able to you know, your mindset and be able to be in control.
Nikhil, we were doing a lot of these Pakistan games during the Asia Cup, weren't we?
Yeah.
What's your sort of impression? The warm-ups haven't been too good. You were looking at those numbers this morning.
Yeah, I mean, but those are warm-up games. You know, Marnus Labuschagne was bowling for Australia. But I think it's a good opportunity for the other batters other than Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. They have scored run. Even Babar scored a 90 odd runs in that warm-up. But it's a good opportunity for their opening batters who haven't been doing that well. I think Babar Azam, if is there in the playing 11, I think he needs some runs. So I think it's a good opportunity for the other players. And I think
we don't have the playing 11 yet, do we?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I do have Babar. I heard Babar saying that Hassan Ali and Shaheen Shah Afridi are back. I mean, oh, no surprise with Shaheen Shah Afridi. If they weren't playing with him, I would have been very surprised. But Hassan Ali, clear, sort of comes in to replace someone like a Naseem Shah. And that's sort of a big loss for them. This is the squad which they have. And yeah, Abdullah Shafiq or Fakhar Zaman. I think that's the one we need to look at.
Yeah.
Well, I think Shafiq will play anyway. It's Imam ul-Haq that may miss out for Saud Shakil.
You think so?
I think so. I think they'll stay with Fakhar Rahman. He's been a good player. Is a good opportunity for him to get back into form, along with one or two others as well.
But I think with Hassan Ali and Haris Rauf, they are good bowlers, but their economy rate is pretty high. So Pakistan would struggle in the death bowling. Not in this match maybe, but Haris Rauf and Hassan Ali, they go over 6 runs per over. So that is going to be an interesting factor. Who will be their death bowlers? Shaheen Shah Afridi definitely will bowl. But Hassan Ali and Haris Rauf, we need to see.
Okay, I'm just trying to check the lineups. Keep this going and I'll just get back to you with the lineups.
It's a specialist, you know, way to bowl in when you're talking, you know, the last 2 or 3 from one end. It makes a hell of a difference if you're able to restrict that opposition batsman to, you know, even 8 to 9 and over is okay. Anything, you know, 13, 14, 15, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, but Babar Azam, talking about Babar Azam, he's a world-class batter, but he hasn't lit up the ICC tournaments. He hasn't carried the Pakistan team to a title. I think this is his moment. Like, everyone knows that he's a great player, but, you know, you need to win tournaments to be there with the legends up there.
Well, even if you're not going to win tournaments, as a leader, it would be nice for your performance not to be in question. So I'm expecting him to have a good series, but may not necessarily qualify for the semi-finals.
Is he a good captain? Or is it too early?
He's learning.
Is it too early for him to be appointed captain because he's also their premier run getter? Yeah. I get a feeling that especially the Asia Cup, right, when we were watching, that at times he's not as clued in. But perhaps he's the glue in that team because it's a team of contradictions. You've clearly seen some squabbles and some territorial fights.
It's a little bit of transition with him. I think he's improving. He's growing into that job. Not an easy job to captain Pakistan. And you need support, man. You need support from all different angles. And he's slowly getting there. And now when they played England in Pakistan, when that baseball comes at you, and they've done it to a number of teams, not easy to react. And, you know, the first thing you do is to go defensive.
Okay, let's get you to react. I've got the teams finally. Okay. We've got the teams. Pakistan, okay? Let's get a close-up of Dad Watmore. Imamul Haq plays.
Right.
Fakhar Zaman plays. Right. Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan. No surprises for me.
Right.
I did think, though, that it was Fakhar Zaman who would be in trouble because they'd gone with Abdullah Shafiq in the Asia Cup in the last two games.
Yep.
Saud Shakil comes in.
Okay.
Iftikhar Ahmed, Shadab Khan, Mohammad Nawaz, Hassan Ali, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf. So I think this is the expected squad. I mean, this is their best squad.
I mean, there were questions about Shadab Khan because he didn't have a great build-up, but they showed faith in him and he is the vice captain.
It's
and
also Netherlands.
It's also
What
Netherlands.
better way to get some form under your belt against the Netherlands? Do you remember someone called a Dan Van Bunga?
Dan Van Bunga.
Herschel Gibbs?
Herschel Gibbs? God. That World Cup, you knocked India out, remember?
Yeah.
Yes, I was talking to Nikhil.
We were discussing that.
Do you remember that game? And he was sort of... the Netherlands gave us a chance for somebody to get a big 100.
Sure.
We had some questions on no more with what more, which on the broadcast people were saying Babar's going to get a double century today.
Well, he could do as well, but you just, you know...
Batting first.
Yeah, and I think they'll be very comfortable with that. They'll put up a big score. That's their hope. And then to really, you know, put the screws on and make it difficult for Netherlands, who they'll try. I mean, they've earned their spot here, which is a really good thing.
Okay, let's look at the Netherlands squad and let's talk about their journey. They've got Vikramjit Singh, who you're very impressed with. They've got Max O'Dowd, who's their leading run scorer this year. There's Colin Ackerman, who comes in. He was playing county cricket. No mug at the bat. Then they have Bast Leader, whose father played, I think, 96?
Tim DeLeader.
Teja Niddamanuru is an all-rounder. He's playing the captain, Scott Edwards. Saqib Zulfikar, Logan Van Beek, Roloff Van der Merwe, Aryan Dutt, Paul Van Meekeren. That's their team.
All right. I had Engelbrecht, but he's not there. So
Engelbrecht's not playing.
Probably one of the best fielders, if it's the same Engelbrecht that played junior cricket in that World Cup victory under 19 for South Africa. And that was really annoying too. Every time South Africa, they wanted to bring him in the field, somebody will feign an injury and in he comes. And what a fielder. I think it's the same boy. Unbelievable. And he was in the team, if it's the same guy, but not in this 11.
Yeah. Okay, no more with what more is our segment. Right. We have some people tuning in from long distances from India. This is a World Cup. Crimildo Armando from Mozambique says, good morning. I think it's going to be a good match. That's what he says. We hope it's a good match.
Well,
what's the definition of a good match? A game that gets
close.
at 8:30 in the evening isn't a good match.
Good for us.
It's good for you. You could get home early.
And have some sleep, yeah.
Julius Hilk says, hi, I'm live from Uganda. Hi there. Hope you're watching this. And Prince Indian from Delhi says, I think Netherlands have made a mistake giving batting to Pakistan. They should have scored 250, 300 and tried to defend. What do you think?
Well, 250 is not going to be enough, I don't think, on that pitch.
Against this Pakistan team, you never know, right?
Well, yeah.
The mercurial Pakistan. Wow. Which Pakistan will turn up? That's what we always discuss before a game. Yeah. But I think Netherlands, I mean, they never looked the best squad on the paper. But that was the condition in the qualifiers as well. They were West Indies, there was Zimbabwe.
Can I tell you, Nikhil, I remember that West Indies game. I was watching it. Yeah. And you think, oh, that's 374 on the board. No way they're winning this. And they lost wickets. But they just had, I think like we saw at the end of the game yesterday with Conway and Ravindra, once it starts to come off, you just keep going, you keep going. Momentum. And then they sort of beat the West Indies in a super over. That contributed to West Indies not carrying points forward. Then I think it came down to a game against Scotland. Winner goes through. And they won that as well. So, a fairy tale for them.
Well, that's right. You know, again, when you look at the Orange team, you think, oh, yeah, they're very small population. But those guys, quite a few of them play in England. And they've got a lot of experience in toughish cricket. So they come together, and they don't come together very often either. So, you know, they need to pay attention to that team thing. But they seem to do it, you know, in a short period of time and then, you know, pull off these wonderful victories.
You know, as Dav pointed out, they are not a professional body. It's a semi-professional thing. But I just love their spirit. I was just going through their Twitter handle. When they arrived, they didn't have, you know, enough finance to carry net bowlers. So they put in a Twitter post, if you can bowl at 120 and if you can spin the ball at 80 miles per hour, please come and train with us. So, I mean,
I think they've got a delivery boy who's also in the nets with them. Is that them?
Yeah, I mean, they put out a post. So, I mean, of course, they're not a professional, like semi-professional thing. Yeah, I mean, I was like 120 if I can.
Are Netherlands playing in Delhi? Nikhil Mathur is available. Vidur Kathuria and Shivashish Nandi are opening bowlers for the WION cricket team. They're available.
Sandeep can bowl spin.
Sandeep can bowl. But the thing with Nandi is, you know, Nandi bowls a lot of beamers. So, you know, you sort of don't want to hurt people.
But I think they have a fighting spirit. And as I said, you know, they may be not the best team on the paper. They're the lowest ranked side. But they've punched above their weight, and they're a beautiful team to watch. They have these players who are ready to give anything for the country. So, I mean, if even they can pull one upset in this World Cup, I think it would be a great World Cup for them.
Yeah, but how do teams like this transition? Because I'm asking this to you because you coached a team similar to this which won a World Cup. And I remember Sri Lanka meant, it's Sri Lanka, we're winning this. Teams will get into the park thinking, oh, it's Netherlands, we win this. But this is their, fifth edition appearance at a World Cup. And we saw that, you know, they don't play too many games. This is the first time they're going to be playing since that qualifier.
Absolutely. That's the worrying part, you know. When you say transition, you can have the best coaches in the world. And it's going to help, but the best thing that'll help you?
Competition.
No, I think that's where ICC need to step in, you know. The gulf between the resources that are available to a team.
Funding's not good.
It's huge. I mean, Netherlands are a good team, but as you said, they haven't played a match since coming to that qualifier. So that that gulf needs to be narrowed down. They need to get more games and more financial resources.
But hang on, just let me draw a parallel. When Qatar won the bid for the World Cup, right, and the Qatar team qualified, it never played at that level before. I think FIFA and the other confederations allowed Qatar to go and play tournaments. I think they played CONCACAF. They played in South America as well, CONMEBOL. They were invited to these competitions so that they get an idea of how tough it is at that stage. And it's a big gulf.
So you're saying that ICC should have funded a bit more of the ODI
ICC
practice?
And the other nations over there. Or perhaps ask them, okay, fine, you don't want to play in India. Go to Bangladesh or go to Sri Lanka, play as a team, play 3 months over there, play competitive games.
The county cricket season finishes in September, so there's not a lot of time.
You're saying it's a club versus country situation?
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, it's funding, it's your livelihood, that's what puts bread on the table. These guys go and play for their county, and they get paid reasonably well. And also, when you know the window of opportunity to host anyone in Holland. Very small too, because they have a very small summer period, and 2 or 3 or 4 months maybe at max. So it could clash with a lot of other.
Yeah, like I think they can come to India, like in Noida, Afghanistan.
They train here, not too far. Yeah. The place you want to go and play golf, not too far away from there.
So
and Nepal should come too.
Yeah, Nepal. So they can play. I think they can play with the Ranji teams.
I think many
Karnataka.
Bangladesh came here. I remember Bangladesh have come to India and trained here.
We played in the Dulip Trophy, and I coached them. President's 11, not Bangladesh. President's 11.
Yes.
I think that would level the playing field, and we'll have a more interesting and
But do you think that going forward with sort of T20 becoming the global sort of ambassador for cricket, that's going to ensure that it's sort of the gap comes down? Because there's already talk of the Los Angeles Olympics in 28. I think a decision's coming in a couple of days. Cricket's getting there. Does that sort of make cricket bigger? Because the longer you go, say 50, 5 days. Perhaps what happens there is you get exposed to that level, but a 20-over contest.
Yeah, I think that format allows teams to bridge the gap a little bit quicker. That's what we're saying. They're even talking T10, in the Olympics.
Owen Morgan talks a lot about T10.
Zim T10 just concluded.
Yeah, what's next, T5? I don't know. It's where does it all end? But
it can be a T5. Technically, that's a DLS. That's it. That constitutes a match, right? 5 overs.
And that's a super over. Just play a super over and go home.
Okay, let's take in some more. Sajid asks, how much of a target will Pakistan set for Netherlands?
I'm feel 300, close to, if not more.
Just a rejoinder to that. Cricket Talha says, Pakistan batting first, and at the toss, Babar said we're looking 290 to 300. In my opinion, we should get more than that. Hopefully get 350 plus and restrict Netherlands under 250. The follow-up question which I have to that is, the bowling has sort of tapered off a bit. This is actually more than the batters. I'm looking out to see how fast can they get Netherlands out.
That's an interesting one too. I think most people would. Now that you mention it, that would be a little battle to look forward to see how good they are in in protecting that total against a team like Netherlands, because sterner tests for sure are coming along.
But were you surprised, Nikhil? We were sitting here, we saw that Pakistan bowling lineup rattle India. I still remember 66 for 4.
Yeah.
India limped to 266. This is the first game of the Asia Cup. But from that high, they've just gone down. What was it during these warm-up games? They 350 almost in one game. Netherlands chased it down with 46 balls remaining.
And then Australia
got some 340 odd as well.
And, but I think the important part is they need to look at New Zealand. What New Zealand did yesterday was they could have closed the game in 50 overs as well. But I think the coach said, the management said, then go hammer and tong, because their net run rate is now 2, above 2. And
but they're batting first, right?
Yeah,
they can't do that. They can restrict the bowling.
Yeah,
right?
I mean they need to set a higher target, because now New Zealand's game are not against the top team, so they will have a lot of points. Because when you get to the business end, if you have easy games, if you have your net run rate is high, if you have points, it's easier to qualify, because I think it will come down to net run rate. You need 4 to 5 wins to qualify. So I think Pakistan would be looking
4 to 5 wins to qualify? which tournament are you looking at? Minimum 6, right? 6 gets you through.
But the other thing too, the timing of this match, there are advantages and disadvantages as well. There we got, an easy-ish game, on paper anyway. Can't take it lightly, don't be complacent. But on paper you would think it's a mismatch. So that's the first game for Pakistan. You think, well, that's an easy one to start with. So you may not go full hell for leather. But if you play them last and you know what you need to do, then that could be also an advantage. So this could be a disadvantage in that regard.
I'm just going to ask you another question on that. I mean, obviously West Indies looked at this and said, oh, we're going to win this. How do Pakistan avoid this becoming a potential banana skin? Because you're right. I'm looking at it and saying, Netherlands, let's beat them. Yeah. But how do Pakistan
Well, I'm sure they would have discussed
it.
Diggy, I'm sure they would have discussed it. And that's that C word again, complacency. I think there's a real...
What new words we are learning these days? I thought C was choke. Then it was consistency, you said. And now you're saying...
Complacency.
Complacency.
Correct.
So you have to tell us which C you mean. I mean, there are 3 versions of Dad Watmore's C words going around, right? C letters.
Don't tempt me here. But I think they need to be reminded both teams start on 0 for 0. And at the end of the game, if there is a huge difference between them, it's not at the start. You still got to do the hard yards, and then as the game progresses, the gap widens.
Okay, just before I'll get you in Pakistan evokes sort of strong emotions over here in India. Paresh Shah is from Vadodara, that's in Gujarat, the state of Gujarat. Paresh Shah.
Paresh, okay.
Paresh, thank you. Paresh says, India have just beaten Pakistan in the Kabaddi semi-finals at the Asian Games. I'm hoping the Dutch do the same at the World Cup. But the 1996 World Cup which you won, I remember Kenya beating the West Indies was the biggest upset of that tournament. And then I think 99, Bangladesh beat Pakistan. Remember that?
Yeah. That was in England, right?
Yep. There have been these upsets.
Yeah.
So Bangladesh beating India. I know Dave Watmer was coach, but over here it was a big upset. You know why? Because Greg Chappell and company had hyped it up so much that India's going to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
So India lost Kabaddi to who?
No, India beat Pakistan in
They beat
Kabaddi.
Pakistan.
Kabaddi.
At the Asian Games. In fact, India in the gold medal match at the Asian Games in cricket.
Isn't Kabaddi India's national game though?
It's not the national game, but
officially
India,
no. There's nothing officially there. National game, they say it's hockey, but there's
No
nothing
official
officially in the
Kabaddi,
constitution.
people are
Pakistan
telling
and
me
India
it's
both play
popular.
kabaddi. Yeah,
very
it's popular in both the nations.
It's very popular.
But,
Okay.
But Digvijay, this is the first match for Pakistan in India in 7 years, and you have covered matches in Pakistan. And Babar Azam was liking the company. He said,
But can I tell you something? Hang on. Now that you're saying this, Pakistan's last match in India was that T20 World Cup up in Mohali. It was Afridi's last game against Australia. I was there for that game. I happened to be in Chandigarh. I was actually shooting with Abhinav Bindra ahead of the Olympics. And there's a game. Let's go and see it. Afridi's last game.
no, when they are lavishing on Hyderabadi biryani. Dav, have you tried Hyderabadi biryani?
I have once when I was coaching the Indian A team, and somebody brought me out. I said, "Yeah, I love it." Gee, that was hot, man. That was a very spicy Hyderabadi biryani, but very tasty.
Okay, some polls.
Yeah.
Let's take the polls, who's going to be Pakistan's best player against the Netherlands? We've gone for Babar Azam, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mohammad Rizwan and Haris Rauf.
The usual suspects.
You
really.
pick one.
I'll go for Babar.
Could I have gone for Shadab Khan? No.
Well, he's got three chances of doing it, but no, I'll go for the Babar.
Okay, the Babar.
I think I will go with Babar as well.
I've gone with Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Good.
Because I think that batting for me isn't the problem, especially these conditions, the way Babar likes it. I expect him to do well. I think I'm looking at the bowling because I had Pakistan down as one of my 4 semi-finalists, remember?
Yeah.
And then that bowling sort of tapered off.
Asia Cup happened, and then
Asia Cup happened. So I desperately need the bowling to come good to sort of redeem my fake pride. Yeah, okay, this is an interesting one. Is Babar Azam the right choice as Pakistan captain?
Yes, you can't change it now. I think he is. You know,
it's hypothetical. No.
I think
Is he the right choice in your mind?
I think he is, and then I think this particular World Cup will define whether he continues in that job or not.
Okay.
yeah,
There was pressure on him, right?
yeah,
There was pressure.
First ball coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yes or no?
I think Sarfraz was a better captain, but as you said, he is the glue that keeps the team together.
Okay, I don't think he's the right captain. I just think he lets the game drift.
And here's a spinner, first ball.
Ooh.
On the Hyderabad.
Mitchell Santner, anyone? Mitchell Santner? Ashwin. I think Ashwin and Maxi are going to bowl in the power play.
Okay.
Arindat.
Can Pakistan win this World Cup? Very overwhelming replies here.
Well, generically, of course. I mean, you know.
No, yes or no?
Yeah, I think they can. Well, no.
Nikhil?
No, they cannot.
Okay, I have gone for no, but let me remind you that when the chips are down, the team which plays the best is Pakistan. No one expected them to reach the T20 final last year after losing to Zimbabwe and India. And then, in the final, and had Afridi not got injured, I think they would have won it. Okay, can Netherlands upset Pakistan?
Not today.
2080.
67% of our viewers say yes. Indian fans.
Mostly Indian fans in that.
Okay. First ball?
Yeah, first ball.
First ball.
Let's watch this.
Off spinner to a left hand.
Aryan Dutt.
2 fuckers on one. Oh, and he starts really well. I think in Pakistan, if they need to win the World Cup, they need someone like Imran Khan. Only a person who can, get the team together and then say, we are the Lions, we have to go. You need that kind of a player to win it.
Actually.
Can Pakistan afford to take Netherlands lightly?
No, of course not. I said that before, that you cannot be complacent. You got to. Both teams start on 0 for 0, and it's going to take a little bit of hard work early on, and then get that advantage. And the advantage becomes bigger and bigger as the game goes on.
60-40. Okay, final thing before we wrap this up. Reminder, keep sending in your comments for Dav Watmore. The moment this innings gets over, Dav, Isha, my colleague, and Nikhil Mathur, are you on today?
I will be.
Okay. He loves the spotlight. The lights on him. They'll be back, and Dav and I will discuss this game. We'll build up to the Afghanistan-Bangladesh game and also South Africa versus Sri Lanka. That's happening here in Delhi. In fact, our other regular, Vidur Kathuria, is at the ground. He's going to get us a ground report from there.
But before we wrap up predictions, that will take. Score.
Pakistan win. Pakistan bat first. Pakistan. I lost this yesterday, right? To Dav Watmos, I'm going first. Okay. Pakistan win the toss. Obviously, Pakistan, batting first. Pakistan get 320. And 220 is where I think the bowlers will stop Netherlands.
You've stolen my thunder a little bit.
Oh, I went first.
Now that banter is back.
I'll just come back 10 runs or so. I'll go 305, 310.
I said 290.
No, 305 is what they'll get. How much do you think Netherlands will...
Netherlands, yeah. Okay. They'll all say...
220?
No, I think they'll get 250.
Okay.
I think 290 Pakistan and
290.
290 Pakistan and Netherlands would be around somewhere 230.
They'll limp home to 250.
Okay, let's see. At the end of this innings, if it's Mr. Watmore, who knows more, it's Nikhil Mathur or Digvijay Singh Deo who are smiling away. First runs on the board. Fakhar Zaman hits him down to what? Third man?
Yeah.
Backward
There's no third man.
No, spinner.
Aggressive field. We have gone with one slip.
spinner.
So
Okay. Okay, time for us to watch the game. See you. Bye.